Hi, my name is Uzma. I'm a transformational coach, and if you've been following me, you'll know that I've been doing a few videos in the last few days talking about personal growth. Today's been a bit of a difficult day, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do the video today or not. But then I really thought about what I've been talking about and personal growth, particularly talking about the personal growth through suffering and when you're not feeling right in yourself. You'll understand why I've chosen to continue doing the video today. So unfortunately, my paternal grandma has passed away today. So obviously, it's a sad day for us. But I thought about whether I would want to carry on. I mean, this isn't really necessary. It's not something that although I've committed to making 10 videos on 10 different topics, all related to personal growth, but it's not like somebody's holding me to it. So it was really my choice whether I wanted to do the video today or not. But I wanted to really bring the message home, and especially given the topics I've been talking about, and particularly the topic that I've chosen for today, really kind of matched with what I'm talking about, and that's why I decided to go ahead and still do the video despite it being a tough day. So I really hope that today brings value to people, and that you can really think about these things and try to apply some of this in your life. Even if you don't ever work with a coach on a one-on-one basis, just taking the few videos that I've done in the last few days and the future videos that inshallah I will be doing, you'll really start to get a lot of value if you really apply some of the tips and hints that I've been giving you. I know this because I've worked with people who have used this model, and it really does transform people's lives. Obviously, with one-to-one work, there's a lot more accountability and there's a lot more work involved. It's different, but you can still really go back into the videos, look at them, and jot a few things down that you can apply to your lives and make a difference. So I'll go into today's topic with the thought that when I've talked about people grow through suffering, and or you're growing through actually working on daily basis to grow yourself, and today is one of those days where it feels like growing through suffering, and I just wanted to make sure that I can practice what I'm preaching to other people, and that despite how one feels and what you're going through, you have made a commitment to people and you continue doing what you're doing, because that's how you grow. Also in the honor of her, I guess those people who are listening could recite a prayer for her perhaps, so it might be of a benefit to do today's video anyway. So I'll go into today's topic, which was your vision and your life, your vision, sorry. So it is absolutely so important to have a vision and a purpose to your life. It's so important to know where you're headed, and how to get there. And I think that when we have goals, when we have something that we're working towards, it gives a lot of meaning to our lives. It fulfills us, and every time we make it to a goal, every time we get to a certain stage, it brings about a lot of happiness. And again, we can link those happiness to yesterday's topic, which was gratitude on a daily basis. We talked about yesterday every 24 hours for you to go through on a morning and evening points of gratitude, things that you've been experiencing, and what are you grateful for. So when you reach goals, it really brings about a blissful feeling within yourself. So it's really important to have goals and visions for yourself. What's even more important is to have your values aligned with your vision. So whoever you are as a person, whatever is you respect, whatever values you carry, your vision should be very much in line with that. I think that a lot of people kind of have goals that are milestones, getting from one place to another, and they're not as fulfilling. And if you think about like a statistic which I'll give you, which is 87% of the world is not actually satisfied with their careers, for example. It's because they're in that cycle where they think that they're perhaps going up in a career ladder, and so they're fulfilling some goals in terms of their, maybe financially, but there are other things that are being missed out, which isn't in line with their values, which isn't fulfilling them, which isn't giving them a life experience which makes them feel alive every day, which makes them feel like they are living a life of purpose. So I think this is why it's really important to have an understanding of what is an end goal and what is a means goal. Like which kind of goals do you have that are just there for you to step from one place to another, and they are also important. But then there are end goals which are your personal growth goals, your own life's vision and purpose. So that's what we will talk about today. So end goals are basically, it's when you are really and truly following your heart. It's when you are, it's tied with your feelings, it's tied with how it makes you like how you're feeling so blissful when you actually going on about your business, and you're fulfilling your goals that are end goals. Whereas mean goals are other goals where you would say, I will do this because it will bring this result. Like, I will apply for this job because it's going to give me more money, or I'm going to do it's always got some caveat in between. You're doing this because of some other reason. Whereas end goals are all to do with your heart, your inner self, you fulfilling your own desires, and they are very much in line with who you are as a person, what your values are. So end goals are important because I've said this before, we are souls having human experiences here in life, and so this is why it's really important for us to feel alive, our spirits to feel alive too. And the only way we can actually do that is by giving our soul the experiences it desires. It's come here in this world having an experience, and that's why it's really important for it to for us to give it a full vision of life in the best way possible. So as always, I like to break things into different areas, and goals, and so your vision can also be divided into 3 areas, and one of the areas is experiences. So your experiences are how you want to feel, like what do you want to feel like most of the times, and this goes directly in line with the experiences you have in life. So what kind of experiences do you it's really important to take time out, maybe take like even 5 minutes out, and really sit down and think about all the experiences you want to have. What do you want to do? Do you have a vision of writing a book perhaps? Do you want to travel some places? Do you want to buy some certain things that are of value to you? Do you want to have a family? Whatever it is that you want to experience, it's really important for you to have those experiences which meet with your end goals, and they don't have that because in it. Like, then you're not doing it because of another reason, you're doing it because it's going to really make you feel alive inside, and that's the fulfilling thing that you're looking for. The second area is your growth, and this is what kind of a person do you want to become, like to the world when you appear out there on the stage. What do you want people to see in you? What do you want to become in front of other people, or in front of your own self, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, when you've no accountability, when it's about you with your own self? What kind of person are you, and what kind of person do you want to be? And that's where the growth thing comes in. And we've talked about growth through sort of reading or taking seminars, or constantly evolving and really giving yourself that important oomph of constantly growing as an individual. And then the third area, which is really, really important, and it ties in with the 4th stage when we talked about the 4 levels of consciousness on the first day. And this area is called contribution, and this is to do with the help you're giving to the creation, the other people around you, and how you are bringing value into anybody else's life. not for anything in return, but just because you want to add value in people's, you want to give people something back so that they can take something from you, and therefore you're living your legacy. And it makes you feel so again, it makes you feel alive, because you fulfilled some purpose, and you know, you're working towards something. And that, if that's part of your vision, if that's something you want to do, and you've delivered something that is of value to people. For example, if I'm doing this video and if I get messages for people to say, you know, I really took something from here, or I made notes today, or I'm going to take this is a lot of value to me, it really fulfills, and it really gives a lot of happiness to my heart, because you know, that is what I'm looking for. I want people to transform. I want people to think about how they can grow and how they can have life that's filled with creativity and contribution and enrichment, and they, you know, they feel like they are fulfilling their purpose. And so that's the whole purpose of having a vision in life. I don't know if I've rambled today. I'm really sorry if it's not coherent, a message today, but I hope that it, you know, it does make some kind of a sense. Overall, what I'm trying to say is that you should have a vision in life, and it's really important for you to try to have some kind of a way to figure out which areas you want, how you want to experience life. So look at experiences that you want to have, look at the kind of growth you want to, you know, the kind of person you want to become and how you would grow into being that person, and then look at the contribution you are making in this world. And when you split it in those three categories and try to make notes on what you want to do to fulfill each one of these categories, you'll have a better idea that your goals aren't to do with you're doing something because something else is going to happen as a knock-on effect, but rather you're doing it because it's really going to fulfill you as a human. It's because you've come into this world to give as well as take, and we as people are always giving and taking from each other. And that's a really important message that you know, I want you to take away from today. And it's you know, what makes us different as humans from any other creation is the fact that we have the ability to imagine, we have the ability to think. And this is you know, this is the best thing that we could have. This is the most valuable thing, that the best asset that we have is the fact that we are able to think, we are able to imagine, we are able to negotiate with our own mind. We can change our mindset, we can really have an effect on our own subconscious mind, and therefore you know, that's going to create a different type of feeling, and therefore we're going to be acting and be a different person. So it's really important to have a very clear vision and to block out the noise that you have of negativity around you. Ideally, you should have around about 30 minutes a day to yourself. Usually the best time is first thing in the morning, when like the rest of the you know, family is still asleep, and you wake up and you know, you have that connection. If it's God you believe in, you give that time first thing to yourself, just connecting with the purpose, you know, a bigger entity. And then you go on about giving yourself that time. Really, you know, we've talked about having moments of gratitude. Meditation is absolutely necessary. I mean, I can go on into that. You know, I teach meditation in my one-to-one work with people. So I think it's really important for us to really have that kind of a mindset where we're constantly having growth. But the most important thing to take away from today is that once you get to a stage where you are growing as a person, you're evolving onto the next level, you're transforming as a person, you're trying to become happy, you're counting on your experiences, then you're being grateful for what's happening. Do you see? It's like a journey from what we've been talking about from day one up until today, and then we're talking about creating a vision for yourself. What's really, really important is that you must have faith. And when I talk about faith, I don't mean necessarily having a faith in God or you know, or something like that. I mean faith, an absolute belief that what you want to create is within your power to create. You know, that's the important thing, is that you don't need anybody else. You're not reliant on somebody else to create those feelings for you to be able to achieve what it is you want to achieve. You really can do this all by yourself. And really, if you know, for example, if you're working with a coach, they would hold you accountable. They would talk to you on a daily basis. They would make sure that you're actually doing what you've said, and then you know, you would go back and you feedback. And so, you know, I found personally, I mean, I've had coaching before, and I think it's absolutely amazing, and it's transformed my life to a huge extent. And I really hope this is, again, this is bringing some kind of a value to you. If it is, then please like the post, please share it if you think it's of value, and or tag anybody who you might think is going to benefit from this. I'm happy to have any direct messages if anybody wants to ask any questions. Thank you. I'll see you again tomorrow.